Good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. Hopefully, you're able to join us live with something good for lunch, maybe from one of our local St. John's businesses. This is Liz Smith. I'm president of the St. John's Boosters Business Association. And this is, I believe, our fifth in our series, I Am a Small Business, which started out as a social media program that we did, that Venture Portland did first, and then we thought that was great, and we did a social media campaign too to highlight our local businesses, and then turned that into a live interview series, which I've really enjoyed doing. The St. John's Boosters Business Association has been around since 1926, which is kind of a fun fact, and we are here to promote all of our businesses in our St. John's Business District. This is just a way to promote them when we used to be going into stores, going into businesses, having coffee in coffee shops, connecting in that way. So much harder to connect these days, but thank goodness we live in the age of technology so that we can connect this way. If you want to learn more about the boosters, our website is stjohnsboosters.org. It has all kinds of information on it about some of our members, how to join, how to volunteer, things going on in the neighborhood. One thing that I wanted to call out is that our campaign for this time of the year is called Home for the Holidays. And you might have seen the beautiful picture by Deanna Cantrell Photography. It's a picture from Forest Park of the St. John's Bridge leading into the business district, right at the peak of fall color. It's absolutely beautiful. And what we mean by Home for the Holidays is a dual meaning of, stay home when you can. We are all home. That is where we are supposed to be in order to prevent the spread of the coronavirus, but also when you're shopping, when you're buying things for people, reminder to keep your dollars local if you can. It really does help support your friends, your neighbors, and your local business owners, and that hopefully we will have businesses that survive well into 2021. On a sad note, I just got my mail. I'm sitting here in my home, and I got the New York Magazine. It's backwards, I know, on Instagram, but it says "So long, friends," and it's a highlight of all the businesses that did not survive 2020. And it also, of course, has the dual meaning of there are people who have not survived 2020. It's just a really hard time. So we do what we can to help each other and support each other and be kind to each other at this time of the year. That said, if you are a small business, I just wanted to highlight a couple of things. There are some organizations supporting small businesses with marketing campaigns, free webinars, that type of thing. Venture Portland, I already mentioned, is one. There's a brand new campaign called Here for Portland at hereforportland.com. They have a really great video I just posted on our Facebook page, on our social media. So you can watch that there or go to hereforportland.com to check that out. Prosper Portland has a Shop Small PDX campaign going right now. PDX SOS is a campaign through Bricks Need Mortar about being local and about just, again, highlighting the people whose businesses you're supporting all throughout Portland. Mercatus PDX highlights BIPOC businesses throughout Portland. So always remember to keep the eye on some of the more underserved communities and support everybody. And Travel Portland, of course, and locally we have St. John's Center for Opportunity, who offers business support. It's one of the organizations I do work for, consulting and coaching on social media through my company, Busy Lizzie. So I'm really excited today. We have a special guest, and it is Audrey Voon from Audrey Voon Music. Audrey is just one of those people that brings hope and inspiration to so many. And some of you might not know about the latest venture that she's on, so I'm really thrilled to be able to bring her to you so that she can tell you in her own words about her journey. And I see her there in the live chat, so as soon as she requests to join me, I'm gonna let her in and we are going to have a nice lunchtime conversation. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm gonna wave at her right here. There we go. So Audrey, just go ahead and request to join. There it is. Perfect. I always worry every single time this thing isn't going to work, and every single time it does, and I just have to have faith in it. There we go. So she here in just a minute. Hello to Audrey. There she is. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How is your connection? It's always, I actually had to come on a minute late because I forgot to turn off my Wi-Fi, which is totally counterintuitive to everything I know. And I always think it's not going to work.
I did the same exact thing and I was like, why is it so patchy? And I was like, oh yeah, Liz said to turn off my Wi-Fi. So I had to get off and then get back on.
I got advice from a very wise person who has done way more Instagram lives than I have, and I had to again put my faith in it. I didn't believe it. I was like, that is not going to work. And we tried it with the Wi-Fi, and it was bad. So it is the truth. For whatever reason, we just don't question it. We just follow it.
Who knew?
Who knew? So Audrey, I know that some people in the community know you through your work with Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective, which is an organization that you are founder of. Can you talk a little bit about, of course, your current business and maybe just the relationship with that and how that works so that people have a little clarity around that?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So like you said, I co-founded Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective in 2015. And even before that, I already taught one-on-one lessons in voice and piano. And in 2018, I decided to go ahead and start my own studio officially, and that became Audrey Voon Music. And so I was teaching lessons and I was running the organization with Christina, among a few other um, jobs here and there.
Yes, I have never known you not to be a very busy person.
Busy, it's true.
Yeah. So if you can describe to me, so Audrey Voon Music is a little bit a different brand. Can you describe to me what is under that umbrella of Audrey Voon Music?
Yeah, it's been evolving as I evolve and I get to understand myself better and what it is that I'm able to bring to the world. It started with piano and voice lessons, one-on-one piano and voice lessons back in 2018. And since, even before the pandemic hit, I had started really going inward and doing a lot of reflection and a lot of serious looking at my gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And now it has grown into not only lessons for singing, but other group offerings that really feed the soul through voice and through singing. So I have a new program, group coaching program, for example, for women called Full Voice. And it's a really quick 6-week course, and we focus on identity evolution and habit evolution and practices that allow us to step more fully into our voice and stand up more fully in ourselves. And then I do soul sings, which are really nice. They're kind of meditative, and I'll teach a song or a practice. And it's all on Zoom. It's all on Zoom right now.
We live on Zoom. It is a Zoom world right now, but thank goodness for Zoom that we can still do these things, that you could still have a business. I mean, if this was, 20 years ago, I don't even know how we would be able to practice together. And I really, so for all of you, so that I'm a member of the St. John's Women's Choir that Audrey still directs. And I've also taken the Full Voice course, and I also have been in the Love Your Voice group. And I haven't done any of the meditations yet, but it's high on my list. One thing I admire about you, Audrey, is that you are very good about reminding people about their self-care. And I feel like that has been such a big part of your giving during the pandemic. Can you talk a little bit about self-care and how that became part of your journey through music?
Yeah, oh my goodness. And I should say it's still a journey. I really
Yeah.
think it's a practice that we are constantly working on throughout our life. I First, I have to say that for many years, I have functioned under the belief that if I had a lot on my plate and I felt stressed out, that I was being successful, that I was doing everything I possibly could in the world, and no one could say I wasn't trying. And that was burning me out. It was burning me out. And so when the pandemic hit, I hit pause and I sought out a coach and a community of other women who were also journeying to create space in their life and take on habits that serve their wellness, their self-care. And I have learned so much. That, by the way, is with Lael Peterson, the Vibrant Body, Wise Mind program. And I just graduated last night. That's just
Congratulations.
yeah, and her next round begins in January for those who are looking to make some changes. So I joined that course and I started meditating back in the spring as a way to ground myself. And through meditation, I started singing and I grabbed my ukulele and I would just sit there and play my ukulele and sing, and it felt so good. And it reminded me of the way I used to feel when I would sing when I was a kid. Like, I didn't care what people were thinking or how I sounded. I thought I sounded great. Who I think is on this or was on the live, she could vouch for this. I would just sing at the top of my lungs because it felt good. And that just reminded me that that's what it's about. It's about singing to feel good and doing what you need to do to fill your tank, to fuel yourself, so that then you can show up in the world the way you want to. And so I feel like I'm getting away from your question.
No, I love this though, because I mean, just freestyle. This is good. And I feel like this is a unique gift you have, Audrey. I feel like you're just talking to me. Like this is a session. It feels so good. And I hope other people are just hearing and getting this too. Keep going, go.
So what happened was that was a reminder, right? To me personally. And I started feeling really fed by just sitting there and singing. And so I wanted to do more of that. So I created space for myself to do that. You know, I made a plan. I started meditating every morning and every night. And I started to share that with people I love. So I wanted to share this experience of self-care with others because I was seeing how powerful it was. And so I started offering guided meditations where we could all just be together on Zoom, be together, reflect, be in silence. And I would sing. And I started actually writing songs, which I previously have never identified as a songwriter. I've identified as a singer, and I sing songs that other people write. And so for me, having this music flow through me, through my pen and through my voice was so powerful. And to me, that is self-care. So get to the place where I'm open enough, I'm silent enough, there's enough space that I can create. And I want that for everybody. And everybody's going to have a different way of doing that, you know? But that's kind of what's been driving me to start trying different things and teaching in a different way and offering different things.
Well, I love that. And I love the fact that, I know you as a performer, as a teacher, all different ways of using your voice. And one of the things that has resonated with me, especially this year, is you're working with people to really know and understand and love their own voice. And in this year of so much social justice, voice holds a lot of weight. And so using it joyfully, using it powerfully, using it to communicate, and just appreciating, your own voice, I think is just such a powerful thing. And I also hear you saying that you're still on the journey. So it's almost like everybody working with you is on the journey with you. It's an evolution. Audrey Voon music is broad, and so where it goes may be broad as well. I wanted to ask you how can people work with you? Like what are your offerings? What would you like this audience to know about?
There are a few different ways. I do offer one-on-one lessons and coachings in voice, and that's for people who want to sing, but also for people who want to build confidence in their speaking voice and even just access that creative part of themselves for the written voice too. So it can be very tailored to what you're looking for, working one-on-one. Starting in January, I'm actually going to be offering packages where it's a mentorship package. So I'm calling it a vocal mentorship.
Nice.
And people can get this package of 12 sessions over 12 weeks. And we work together to decide on the curriculum, and really dive in and dig into the outcomes that you want to see for your voice. And I think that having that kind of the timeline can help. It's hard to commit open-endedly sometimes, I think, especially as adults. Commitments come up and things change in your schedule. And so having a timeline is nice. So I do those one-on-one, and I'm excited about the packages. And then I offer soul sings monthly, where people can just kind of bliss out, listen to the music, sing the music, feel how their voice heals and soothes them. And those are hour-long sessions. I offer free guided meditations bi-weekly, Friday mornings. I had one this morning, actually. Friday mornings and Sunday nights. And then I have the Full Voice program, which, as you mentioned, is a group coaching program for women. And it's really, I think I did say this. Yeah, it's really about standing up fully in yourself. In singing, in opera and musical theater, we have this, you can mark or you can sing full voice, right? Sometimes we mark when we want to protect our voice because we're tired or something like that. But singing full voice means you're singing out 100%, you're not holding back, and it's like, this is you, this is your voice. And so that's where I got that idea from for Full Voice.
Oh, I love it. I hadn't heard that term mark before. So that basically means that you're sort of, singing the notes, but not fully, not emoting, just kind of like marking the place in time and space with what is going to be there eventually in your full voice. Is that right?
Exactly. And you might see that oftentimes during Tech Week, when we have rehearsals every night and you don't want to wear your voice out if it's demanding. So singers mark. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. And these are all on your website, audreyvoonmusic.com, as I recall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Good to know. And on your socials, I know that you're very active in social media on Instagram and on Facebook. So that's a good place to find you too, I would imagine. Yeah. So, and then, I kind of did this a little bit backwards, but can you tell people kind of like, has music always been a part of your life? Did you find it later in life? I kind of know the answer, but I'd love for everyone else to hear it from you.
It has been my whole life. My parents are both musicians. My mom studied music in school. My dad plays guitar and sings. My mom writes and plays piano and sings. And so I grew up just totally immersed in it. And for me, it's very much second nature. I just always sung. And I think I started playing piano, was I 5? Maybe mom can type it in the chat. Or something when I started playing piano. And I've always just wanted to sing. I've always wanted to make music with my voice. I did choir in school. I studied music in college. So I've never known anything else.
You've got the music in you. Well, it's interesting that when everything's stripped down during lockdown and during a pandemic, as a performer, it becomes less about your performing. And when you go down deep inside, the music is there very, very personally. And I think that's so interesting and speaks to how deeply embedded music is in you. And that feeling opens it up to people who don't want to be professional musicians or singers or speakers, but they do want to own and emote and express through their own voice. Because I think a lot of times people think, well, I don't want to take a voice lesson. I'm not trying to be a professional here, or, I'm not trying to be a politician or a speaker. But the power of people's, everyday voice in every community that they serve, makes it so interesting for everyone. And I can speak to the Full Voice program in that there's so many great lessons embedded in that for life. You know, voice is part of it. I mean, and maybe the instrument that we use to do all these things, but it's really the interior work that I find so interesting. Does that am I describing that correctly?
Totally, totally. There is this opening, this liberation that comes with knowing that you can. You know,
Mm-hmm.
even if you're not going to, like you said, study voice or pursue singing professionally, knowing that you can make those sounds with your voice, knowing that you can be heard safely is
Mm.
so powerful. And there's someone I'm working with right now who she didn't know that she could even learn how to sing.
Wow.
Thought that, you know, some people have it and some people don't. And so she had never even really tried to learn. You know, she would sing along to the radio and sing with her students and stuff like that. But she didn't realize until now that it's actually a skill she could learn and improve on. And so just seeing her kind of light up and hit those marks that she wants to hit and have her voice be heard by others is so magical.
That's so great. I feel so happy for her. When I joined the women's choir back in, I can't remember, 2015 or 2016. I had not sung in a choir since high school, which had been 30 years. Like I'd done no singing except for singing with the radio. And so I kind of thought, as a middle-aged adult, that I maybe had lost it, or I wouldn't remember how to read music, or I wouldn't be good enough, like, oh, I just had all those, achievement things deeply embedded in me about, if you're good at something, do it. If you're not, maybe choose something else. And oh my goodness, it was such a revelation and a joy to be a part of this group with women from all different stages in life and all different musical experiences. And for me, the women's part of it really vibed, and that's something that we directly get from you. And I was wondering if you could speak to specifically with music in your relationship to women. I know you teach both women and men, but I think this is a very interesting area.
It's funny you say that. I was just thinking about that the other day. A while back, I did just kind of an exercise in visioning my future. And one of the things I see, or I guess I desire, is this circle of women, this community of women.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's this kind of reciprocal nature to the relationship where I feel nurtured and I feel cared for by the women in my life, and then I want to give that back. And when we're able to sing together, um, it's like the ultimate example of giving and receiving. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it levels it out when our voices blend together and we're sharing space and we're breathing together and we're looking at each other. And I think that I think there is a special relationship, a special bond, whether we know it or not, between every single woman in the world. I think there's something there. There's a knowing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to really describe
I,
it, but
I think that's a very good word for it. I don't know either. I feel it, and I especially feel it when I'm around women I feel close to. It's a really special thing.
yeah. And I have to say that the women's choir, the St. John's Women's Choir, has shaped me so much. I feel like I have grown up. And
Us too.
I still feel like a child, but I feel like I have I've learned so much from working with this group of women because, like you said, everyone has such different backgrounds and
Mm-hmm.
comes in with such different expectations. And there's just so much compassion in that group and so much strength. And I find that so, oh, what's the word? Not inspiring, but it sets an example. It has set an
Yeah.
example for me.
Same with me, and it's interesting. I'm a little bit older than you, so for me, it allowed me to go back in time a little bit, and just like you were saying a little bit before, it allowed me to remember the joy, the pure joy I get from singing, whether it's good or not. It doesn't matter. You're just singing. You're just using your voice. It is so vulnerable, and it is so stripped down because this is your voice. This is the voice that you are given, and you only have one. So enjoy it, and it can make beautiful sounds or just sounds. Doesn't even matter if they're beautiful. Making sounds together is just very freeing. Yeah, I highly encourage people, if they have any inclination to it, to experience music in some way. It's universal. It spans time. There's a reason we love music. It spans species. Different species love music. One of my favorite stories that you have is about singing to your dogs. Because I also have dogs, yeah. So we have this conversation often. Can you tell people about how that works in your home?
Sorry, I'm laughing because I know he's being quiet right now.
Mine are being quiet right now too, and I'm just always like on pins and needles, hoping they will.
So we have a 10-year-old lab mix and an almost 2-year-old golden retriever Malamute mix. And the almost 2-year-old is very vocal, and he still has these bursts of puppy energy where it's almost inexplicable. He just gets really excited and like needs your attention right now and like can't wait. And sometimes he'll get like that, and I'm just beside myself. I'm like, well, let's go play outside or go for a walk, and like nothing really helps. Like he just, if I try to sit down and read, he's like, nope, you need to be looking at me. And sometimes it happens at bedtime, which is not as convenient, right?
No.
So there was one night where it was bedtime, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what else to do. And so I just started singing, and he kind of settled down, like laid down, and then like closed his eyes. So I kept singing and petting him, and he just, whoo. And it was like magic. And I don't think it's anything special about my voice necessarily. What I think is that when I sing, especially a song that feels good to me, I calm down and chill out. And so that allows him to bring it down. And so that's his song. I'll sing it to him. I think I put a video on it might be on my Instagram actually, of me singing to him and him kind of falling asleep. And you should try it. Anybody at home, if you're having puppy issues or kitty issues, try singing to them.
Yeah.
Like a sing song, you know.
I have heard from different dog sitters and trainers about my own behavior, and how when I'm, if the dogs are doing something that I don't like and I'm yelling, they're thinking, well, you're yelling, so we're yelling, and now it's time for yelling.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. They're taking their emotional cues from us.
Yeah.
When you're singing, and because that creates that wonderful, joyful feeling inside, they're like, oh, we're calm now. And it's not through, they're not really listening to your words. They're listening to how whatever it is coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. And
that sets the tone. And it's also self-soothing, right? It kind of gets you out of that anxiety phase of like, this is not time for playtime now, anxious. So, I mean, that's magical. That's a magical way to just use music in a way that's just, with your pets. And yeah, that's so great. I love that story so much. Well, I wanted to give you a chance to talk about anything that you have, between now and the end of the year coming up that you want people to know about, since we're live, they can maybe join in.
So I'm really excited because I've never done this before, but next week I'm doing a special holiday promotion.
Ooh.
And I have gift cards on my website. And so I'm doing 10% off all gift cards. So if you know somebody who might want to take a class or take one-on-one sessions with me, you can give them the gift card, and then they just schedule it whenever they want. And then the other thing is I'm doing 20% off, and this is just for next week, Sunday through 20% off all packages. So the vocal mentorship packages I mentioned, and all courses. So that includes the full voice course.
Wow, that is huge savings. 20% is a lot. And it's
Yeah.
perfect time of the year because it's, you know, for many people, it's gifting time of the year. So, and it's also, you know, time when you might not have as much means. So that 20% means a lot.
Yeah. And I'm hoping too that, oh, what was I going to say? Oh, that my brain. Sometimes I'm mid-sentence and I forget. I'm like, what?
Oh, I'm there a lot.
I'm hoping too that people who even feel that little like pull or that little like, hey, you should try this, will really seriously consider it, because I really believe that our desire is our inner voice trying to speak to us. And especially if you are feeling stuck, burnt out, like you're not giving yourself what you need to be fueled, especially when it comes to your creativity or the way you express yourself. I really hope that you'll take advantage of this offer, and I'm hoping it will kind of call to people who wouldn't otherwise maybe take that step.
Love it. That's so awesome. That's so great, Audrey. What wonderful offerings. Again, you're just such a giving, offering person. And I highly encourage anybody who wants to take advantage of that to get on it, because it's only good through next week.
Yeah.
So that is great. And then I believe there might be an event that you're hosting tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay. So even before Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective was founded in 2015, Christina Marino of Cathedral Park Music and Cathedral Park Arts started this event called Carols for a Cause, and it's delightful. Usually we get together, we drink cocoa, and I usually make mulled wine and cookies and pie, and we sing just as many winter songs as we possibly can. Now, this year we can't do that in person safely, so Christina and I have been quarantining to keep each other safe, and we are going to meet in my living room, and tomorrow at 4 we're going to lead everybody in carols for a cause, and it'll just be about an hour. And we have lots of songs. Actually, one song Liz even requested.
I'm so excited. We're going to do my song. I'm so excited. And that'll be so fun. So that is tomorrow. I happen to know this because I'm going to it. So it's tomorrow, Saturday, the 19th at 4 p.m. And I believe you guys are going to be on Crowdcast. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does require registration. So you go to Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective website or socials, and it's all on there how to register in advance. Donations are accepted but not required. Donations do support the intergenerational programming at Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective. So your money goes to something great that'll last through next year, hopefully. And yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to take over that part of, like, I just want to make sure I remember to say all the things. But I love the idea that you guys are going to be together in your living room. I'm a big fan of those like 1950s, 1960s Christmas specials where they have like guests come in and there's the host and they're casually in the living room, but not casually, but singing songs around the piano. It just sounds so, just what we need right now.
We'll have the fireplace going and the doggies. It'll be all cozy. It'll be great.
Oh, that'll be nice. And I know that that it's going to be songs from all different areas, like all different winter songs, all different traditions celebrated. So, and I believe it's a family friendly event too, right?
Yes, 100%. So if you like your family, bring them along. If not, you can hold yourself up in your room, I guess, and sing with us.
And I guess since it's online, you can invite your family from far away if you're not able to be with them. And this is a way to kind of be with them.
I hadn't really thought about that. Aww.
Yeah, because I can't see my parents right now. They're in Chicago, and friends and family that I would normally see this time of the year, and I'm totally inviting them. Why not?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a great way to connect from afar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see some of you there. And my very last question that I like to ask at the end is, not only are you basically my neighbor and a small business owner, you're a citizen of St. John's. So what are some of the businesses that you like to go to or you're just enjoying right now? Anybody want to give a shout out to?
Oh yeah, I wrote a list.
Oh, you did. Of course you did.
And I hope I didn't forget anybody. So first thing you should know is that I started my list and it was like all restaurants. So
yes.
but I love, love, love Paiku. Their chili, their wild boar chili is just like so good. And their biscuits, amazing. I get a biscuit every time. I love Banh Mi Up.
Yes.
I've been ordering their pho a lot lately because it's just so cozy, you know, in the wintertime. John Street Cafe, love their brunch. We used to go there for the boosters meetings. Yes.
Yes, I'm missing those, but I'm loving the home delivery.
Yes, yes. This is so nice to have. Slim's, their spicy steak salad at Slim's is like my fave. Also, we ended up there at the end of my bachelorette party, which was really fun. So fond memory. Chop St. John's, love their sandwiches. See, it's very food related. But then
I love it. This is another area we connect on, Audrey.
But I also love Rome Shoes, Two Rivers Bookstore, Three Tracks Music, of course, Two Stroke Coffee, and Affogato, and of course Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective, our very own music and theater nonprofit school here in St. John's.
Oh, I love it. Great list. And of course, that's making me hungry now. So I'm like, where am I getting my list from today? All right. So one more identification. Anybody who joined late, this is Liz Smith with the St. John's Boosters Business Association here with Audrey Voon from Audrey Voon Music. And can you give one more time how people get in touch with you?
Yeah, join me here on Instagram, Audrey Voon Music, or on Facebook, Audrey Voon Music, or on my website, audreyvoonmusic.com. I try to keep it easy for you.
Excellent. You know, I love that consistent branding, Audrey. That makes me happy. Well, great. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It was great. And I am so looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at Carol's for a Cause.
Me too. Thank you so much, Liz.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.